desperate and pushy for us to come work on that radar, which would include us going up on the hardtop on the tugboat. I could probably say that there was more thunder and lightning than I've ever seen in my entire life. I've got to go to a boat over here and look at an air conditioning job that we might take over from another company here in town, and stop by and take a look at that and see if it's a job I want to take on. All right, so AJ's here. He's going to be running copper from there all the way up top. So he's got to start from down there or up top, and we have to come up through a hole that is right there, I think, or whatever hole he can find, and then it's going to run forward, and then it's got to go up here, up there, and into the overhead up in the flybridge where the air handler is. Take care of that right now. Let me go pick that up and I'll bring it back over to AJ here.
This is V. I'm here with AJ.
What's up?
AJ, what we got going on today?
So this guy got a brand new condenser and a brand new air handler. And these are not your stereotypical ones where it's just water, you know, water gets delivered. They actually have Freon that go between the air handler and the condenser. So he wanted a brand new line set, so that's what we're doing. We are struggling a bit because this line set is for a mini split, if any of you know what that is. So the insulation is a lot thicker than your normal insulation is. Because usually with mini splits, the copper run is outside, hidden with line hide, so they don't really go through walls like this. So right now we're just doing a little modifications with the wood file here to kind of widen this space up in a little bit, so I can get both of them up here, and then we can continue our run up through this hole, and then over to here where the air handler is. Slow progress, gotta file away the wood so I can have enough space, but other than that, we're kicking along.
Rocking and rolling, baby.
So this is the issue that we're running into right now. There's 2 ducts that come from each side. So we needed a T. I don't know where the original T from this configuration went. So this one is just one that we had laying around the shop. It's working. It fits all that jazz. But since we use this T, and since it can't really sit anywhere else, the unit needs to sit like this. It is easier for us because here's the ports for our copper, but the issue that we're running into is that it doesn't really sit that well. I mean, yeah, look at that. So and there's a box that goes over this to kind of keep it its own little contained area. So we're just kind of going through to see how we can even make this work. We had to buy a whole new thing of a 6-inch duct because the old one was too short to reach. Pretty much when you attach the plenum to it, it sat like right here. Fan motor's over here. We needed more over this way. We couldn't move it. So we actually had to go out and get some new 6-inch ductwork and replace the entire run. But now we're scratching our heads on how we're going to secure this nicely to this platform. This turned out to be a lot more than I think anybody of us was expecting. So fun.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
6.5 hours later.
We're back on this big AC job. We got both sets of lines run up to the bridge over there. V's up there right now putting a bend on the 1/2 inch. The 1/4 inch is fully hooked up to the air handler. Air handler is fully secured to its tray. The fan motor is fully hooked up, ready to go. So we're just getting the 1/2 inch copper over to the air handler. It's already down in the engine room, and then once he connects it, I'll go down here, I'll tidy it up, and then cut it, connect it. We'll open up the service valves, top it up if need, and be on our way. Shove this copper with this thick insulation up through tiny holes. I actually decided just to cut the insulation and shove it up just straight bare copper, and then deal with the insulation later like I did with this one. So we finally got the 1/2 inch copper connected to the air handler, and I'll show you how. So usually with copper, 1/4 inch, you can take that and bend it. It's really hard to kink 1/4 inch copper piping because it's very flimsy. You can bend it and obviously if you bend it in half, you're gonna kink it, but normally moving it around, putting it around like bends and stuff, the 1/4 inch does swimmingly. Everything else loves to kink. So like 1/2 inch, 3/8, 5/8, all that jazz loves to kink. You give it a little too much of an angle. So what we ended up doing, the V's up here just connecting everything. But here, this is what I'm talking about. So actually it did happen to us. You can see right there, good section kinked. So we just cut it out. And then what we ended up doing to get the 1/2 inch around this tight bend is that we put a flare here, took a little bit of that piping, put another flare there, an adapter, and that has a flare on the end of it, and we're just gonna attach it all. That should be good to go.
Looking for some markings, and of course these got prop speed all over them, so I'm having to deal with this. We've got some Volvo jobs that are in work. One of them we're trying to determine if it's going to be a warranty function, which we haven't discovered yet. So that's what I'm working on now. They're asking me for more information, these props, to make sure that they're the same. So I'm working on figuring that out. So that's 17 by 19. Let's see what this one says. Yep, 17 by 19. There it is. I don't know if you can see that yet, but that's what I'm looking for right there. Volvo Penta gives part numbers and serial numbers, and got to be careful you don't sand too much. It'll take all the numbers away. Found both of them. They're both the same props. The port side is in good shape. The starboard side is all ate up because when the pod got replaced before, they didn't hook up the bonding wire. So the unit had no corrosion protection, and it got all ate up. And I already showed you this, but this corroded out this speed sleeve. And when that cracked, it allowed salt water in, and it ruined everything. We're gonna have to work through if this is gonna be warranty or what, and we'll have to figure that all out and get some parts coming or get some money coming and order some parts. What happened? This broke, got on into the bearings, got in there in the races, and I don't know if you can see that bearing, but it's in rough shape. It's all ate up. We like to go deep dropping, right? And what that is when you're fishing from anywhere from 500 to thousands, 3,000 feet of water. When you're doing it, you got to have some pretty heavy duty weights. Usually use lead, but lead is really expensive. So like a 5-pound weight can be over $100 for a lead weight. So I was walking around the shop outside the other day, and I happened to notice that we had an old drive shaft. And so I figured it's cheaper for me to actually cut these. So this is a drive shaft that we cut up. Here, I'll show you. It's cheaper for me to actually have the guys cut those, and then we'll drill and tap a hole and put an eye in there, than it is for me to buy lead weights, because you do lose weights. I had this drive shaft, we cut it off that end. I had this thing laying around, and I have more too.
Where are we headed?
We're looking for some gear ratio on the transmissions, and we're looking for the prop scan paperwork.
Yeah, and I was hoping I was going to see a punch bug.
No, I don't see one. See here, watch out for that.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Whoa, man. Hang on. I just got punched.
Yep.
Look at this. He
Slug
got
bug.
in front of me, sneaking around.
Yep, that's a pretty little boat.
Yeah, I was looking at this one over here. That's a nice seafoam green too. Look at that big one over there.
Wow, that's really nice. That's kind of like
Wow,
a bay boat, though.
two power poles.
Yep, locks it down, doesn't go anywhere. It's a pretty little
Oh,
thing.
One Heart. That's right. The guys were talking about One Heart, and I couldn't remember that boat.
Yeah, look at this thing. This is kind of like our Boston Whaler, just bigger.
Look at the name on this boat. Sloth Life. What would you name your boat if you had one? Sometimes we see some pretty cool names. I always liked Chillaxin as my name.
All right, let's see here. Trying to get this picture of this right here. Send that to prop dock. Now I'm going to come up there and see if we can find the paperwork. I'm low P5. Hang on, I gotta make a Trello entry.
Is that why it's so hot in here?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, well, see, this display is blinking LOP5.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's got either the low pressure switch on the air conditioning unit's bad, or it's got bad refrigerant, or low refrigerant. Be sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and keep watching. And find some paperwork. This is the air conditioner that's off, so let's do this. I think they're both kind of low.
Darn, that punch bug went away. Man.
No, I think, is it right here?
Look at you looking.
I am. I can't let you get me.
Y72 Princess.
It's Ursula. No, that's not Ursula. This
Endurance?
is, yeah, that's Endurance. That's the one we have work to do coming up on. This is
yeah.
Ursula.
Yeah, oh yeah, we didn't get the part.
Not yet. I already used that one. You can't use it again. That's cheating.
We're leaving.
Doesn't matter.
I can use it.
No.
See that one over there?
Yeah, it's the same one I hit you on. You
I
can't,
know,
that's
but
cheating.
I
do
see it.
No,
Now I get to see it.
no, that's cheating.
Man, we haven't seen one in a long time.
Well,
Gotta make sure I get you.
They've been discontinued.
Volkswagen?
No, Beetles.
Huh.
All right, go down here and check on AJ real quick. He's working on a charter boat down here that's got a D4 in it, and it's got quite a few hours on it, and we're having some problems. I'm afraid that the engine's probably wore out because we're getting really bad blowby from the crankcase. Let's go see what we can find out. There he is. This is, I think, the wrong part. That's why I came down here.
What's this for?
The boot on the turbo, I guess.
Oh, that little, okay, that blue boot.
Yeah, but that's not, I don't see that that's the right one, do you? Well, he says it's got a little cut in it.
It looks like it. I don't know, diameter is kind of hard to tell, but the length is fine.
All right, let me see. Holy balls, man. Look at all the oil in here.
Yeah, it's greasy in here.
I'm pretty sure this engine is shot. I had him start it the other day and pull the cap off, and tons of blowby came out. I don't know if this is the right one or not. Huh. All right, well, maybe it is. All right, I think it's the right part. What was that?
That's a very good question. I have no idea what that was. It sounded like wind hitting the flag, but weird that it happened when you opened the cap, though.
Yeah. Oh, it's wind in here, I guess. Have you checked the oil?
No, I have not checked the oil.
It's right where it should be. I know it's using oil, but I think what it's doing is just blowing it up out of here. Go ahead and start it. Yeah.
You got some serious blowby going on, huh?
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Gaskets destroyed them?
Well, I would guess it's the cylinders and rings probably. Go ahead and wrap this up. So shut the batteries off, close this up. It's all back together, right?
Yeah, everything's right together.
I don't know. He's not answering his phone, so I'm not going to do that without him saying yes.
Boy, it was rough yesterday. We got a call for a radar problem on a 96-foot tugboat that pulled into Key West to get out of the weather. They were desperate for us to help them because they needed to get back underway in a hurry because of, I don't know, probably contracts with the tugboat or something. I could probably say that there was more thunder and lightning than I've ever seen in my entire life yesterday here in Key West. It was intense. And these people called us and they were desperate and pushy for us to come work on that radar, which would include us going up on the hardtop on the tugboat. And I'm like, there ain't no way that that's even remotely a good idea with the weather yesterday. Not to mention it was pouring rain most of the day. I mean, torrential. These people kept calling. They're like, oh, we really need you to come. We got to get this boat back tomorrow morning. It's got to go early because the weather window. And if we don't get out tomorrow morning, we're not going to get out for a week. We didn't end up going safety first. I think we could live with ourselves if we sent somebody over there and they got up on the hardtop and got hit by lightning. So let's go down here and see if they are still here. And we'll see if we can let you take a look at this boat. You can see all the big, huge puddles here on Stock Island. So this was probably all flooded yesterday because a lot of this, it's still running across the road here. So unfortunately, we can't make it. Not in this, anyways. And I didn't have my spare key is missing off the truck, so I'll have to get another one. It was in a magnet thing on the bumper, and it must have fell off somewhere. But I don't want to drive this through a flooded street that's back there because it's pretty deep. It's probably 1.5 feet deep right now. It's not worth driving the Murano through there and having it break down or whatever. And then, sorry, can't see the boat. It's probably not there anyways, but we tried. But he called about that radar on that 96-foot tugboat, and the radar was a Furuno, and I looked up the model number and serial number, and it was over 15 years old. And I asked him, has the software updates been done, yada, yada. He's like, software updates? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh boy. Friday, late afternoon, 15-year-old radar. Oh, by the way, when I looked it up, it all has been discontinued. The whole thing is like a losing proposition. It's too many things stacked against having a successful repair right from the beginning. So it's probably best we didn't end up working on it. With a job like that right up front, I say, hey, I don't expect to be successful at this.
So you're burning money, but a lot of time people are wanting to have us come anyways. And I'm like, you're throwing money at a 15-year-old radar. Software updates haven't been done. By the way, let's talk about software updates. The first step in all electronic troubleshooting is the software up to date. Let's say you're just a boat owner. You're having problems. I don't care what it is. Simrad, Fruno, Garmin, Lowrance, whatever, Humminbird. The first thing tech support's going to ask you when you get a hold of them is the software up to date. If you're having problems and you want to save some money, is do the software update. Now, software updates can be very difficult because Garmin has Active Captain, Simrad has a Simrad app, and there's a couple other apps for the other manufacturers. Many times when you try to use Active Captain or the Simrad app, you have to have really good connection, be it Wi-Fi or cellular. Wi-Fi is better, but at a lot of these marinas where the boats are at, the Wi-Fi is terrible because everybody is using it. The best way and the most successful way is to get a new SD card. We don't reuse SD cards. It's asking for trouble. You could download the stuff to a used SD card, put it in, and it'll be corrupted. You can delete it, whatever's on there. Our experience is that you should always use a new SD card. So we get a new SD card, we go online to the manufacturer, we download the software package to the SD card, and then we go to the boat and insert the SD card into the display. Hopefully it has a card reader. If it doesn't, then sometimes we have to get a card reader that we can plug into the NEMA ports on the back of the unit. And then we do the software update that way. Let me give you an example. Have a client, he had Garmin's, he had Active Captain on his phone. So every time he would get close to the boat, the app would want to connect to the boat. And for whatever reason, that totally screwed that boat up. It got so bad that we ended up having to load software into that boat a couple different times because every time he would use it, it would get screwed up. So what we ended up having to do, and Garmin, I'm sorry, I don't know why this happened. We talked to tech support. They had no idea. Nothing against Garmin, but I just said, you got to delete that app off your phone and not use it anymore. We will just check for software updates every 6 months, and we will just do it manually with the SD card. I have words of caution about these software updates. One, don't try to do a software update right before you're going to take the boat out and go fishing or boating, whatever you're going to do.
Or on a Friday, right?
Yeah, or on a Friday. Don't do that, because I'm not saying that it doesn't always work, but sometimes it doesn't. And you can all of a sudden take your whole system down, and then you really either need to get on the phone with tech support. That's why we said don't do it on Friday. Then Saturday, there's Friday afternoon. Nobody wants to work anymore. It's Saturday. There's no tech support until Monday. So don't do this. If your boat's working, don't do it until during the week, Monday through Thursday, let's say. Sometimes you can get a corrupt software package and then your boat's going to go down. And by boat, I mean network. All of a sudden, it might get even worse. Let's say just your GPS wasn't working. Now, all of a sudden, anything that's on the network isn't working. Your displays, your radar, whatever, radio, anything that's on the NEMA network. My word of caution, if you do a software update or if you're not familiar with it, you might just be better off hiring somebody that's been doing it.
Especially if you're worried about your waypoints and that type thing too, right?
Very good point, because you can lose your data. By that, I mean tracks, routes, waypoints. You really should back that all up to an SD card before you do the software update, which is another process. We burn through a lot of SD cards every year because, like I said, we buy new ones. And that's our preferred method because we can be at the office, put the SD card in the computer, and download the package. We know it's good. And then we can go to the thing instead of trying to do it over Wi-Fi or cellular, because sometimes there's a lot of data in those packages. That's my advice and information about software updates.
So where are you headed?
We're going to UPS to drop off some parts to go back to Volvo.
Okay.
All right?
Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, Saturday morning. We might get rained on. So we found out that yesterday down there at Conch Harbor, A&B, Galleon, Key West City Bight Marina, that a few boats, or I don't know how many yet, got hit by lightning. A couple buildings got hit too. That's pretty much why I worked from home yesterday, because all the thunder, lightning, and rain. It's next to impossible to work when it's raining like that. You can't really do anything because everything's soaking wet. Tools get all wet. God forbid you're working on electrical. thanks again for watching. Thanks for all the advice and comments. And please, if you can, share, thumbs up, subscribe. Helps us on our channel and making our little adventure videos here, and helps us manage our boat chaos.